Have you ever looked in the mirror first thing in the morning under that harsh bathroom light and felt like the vibrancy you used to possess has just evaporated? I'm not talking about a wrinkle here or a gray hair there. We earn those, and they are badges of honor. I'm talking about a deeper feeling, a feeling that your skin has lost its snap, your joints feel like rusty hinges, and your energy is leaking out of a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You might be asking yourself, is this just what happens? Is this the inevitable slide? What if I told you that a significant part of what we call aging isn't just the passage of time, but a very specific fixable nutritional gap? What if the stiffness, the sagging, and the fatigue are actually cries for help from a body that is starving for the right building blocks? It is a heartbreaking reality that so many of us accept pain and frailty as our default setting once we cross the threshold of 60 or 70. We assume the slowing down is natural. But science suggests that a massive portion of this decline, especially the rapid aging of skin, bones, and muscles, is driven by a sudden drop in specific hormones and the structural proteins that hold us together. There is a hidden culprit here. It is the lack of synergy in our diet. We might eat a healthy salad today or take a vitamin tomorrow, but we rarely put the puzzle pieces together in the exact combination our aging biology requires to rebuild itself. That is exactly what we are going to fix today. I am going to walk you through a specific morning ritual, a synergy smoothie that contains four critical ingredients. When these four interact, they don't just feed you, they signal your body to repair itself. By the end of our time together, you won't just have a recipe. You will have a protocol for turning back the biological clock on a cellular level. Before we dive into the science of this elixir, if you appreciate deep dives into senior health that respect your intelligence and don't just offer generic advice, consider subscribing to our community here. We share the kind of senior health tips that doctors often overlook in those rushed 15-minute appointments. And I'd love to know who I'm speaking to today. Let me know in the comments, where are you watching from and what is the one ache or pain you'd love to get rid of this year? Let's get a conversation going. Now, let's talk about the first ingredient in our anti-aging arsenal. And this one is the foundation of the entire strategy. We have to address the hormonal elephant in the room. As we age, particularly for women after menopause, but also for men, as testosterone converts and declines, we lose the protective shield that hormones provided for our bones and skin. This is why we are starting with a high quality phytoestrogen source, specifically organic soy milk. I know you've heard rumors about soy, but I want you to set those aside for a moment and look at the hard data with me. Phytoestrogens are plant-based compounds that mimic the structure of our body's natural hormones just gently enough to dock onto our cells and whisper to them, keep working. Why is this critical? Because without that signal, your bone cells stop rebuilding. A landmark study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism shed a fascinating light on this. The researchers looked at the effects of genistein, the primary isoflavone found in soy, on bone health in postmenopausal women. The results were staggering. The study found that consistent intake of these specific soy isoflavones significantly reduced bone resorption markers. In plain English, the soy stopped the bones from dissolving. The participants didn't just maintain bone density, they actually showed improvements in bone mineral density at the femoral neck. That's the hip bone, the one we are all so terrified of breaking. Think of your bones like a bank account. For the first half of your life, you're making deposits, but after 50, the bank starts making automatic withdrawals every single day. If you don't put something back in, you go bankrupt. That's osteoporosis. Soy milk, rich in these isoflavones, acts like a stop payment order on those withdrawals. It tells the bone eating cells to slow down, but the benefits don't stop at the skeleton. The same hormonal mimicking effect works on the skin. Estrogen is responsible for skin thickness and hydration. When it drops, skin becomes like tissue paper. By introducing a phytoestrogen base to your morning, you are essentially watering a wilting plant. You are giving the skin cells the signal they need to hold on to moisture. So for our smoothie, we aren't using water and we aren't using sugary juice. We are using 1 cup of unsweetened organic soy milk. If you are absolutely intolerant to soy, you can look for flax milk as a substitute, but soy has the most robust data for this specific hormonal mimicking effect. The actionable takeaway here is simple. Swap your dairy or almond milk, which are fine but functionally neutral, for a milk that actively works to signal your hormones. However, a signal is useless if you don't have the bricks to build with. You can tell a construction crew to build a house, but if you don't give them wood and concrete, you're just standing in an empty lot yelling instructions. That leads us to the second vital component of our synergy blend, the collagen builder. This is where many seniors get it wrong. They buy expensive collagen powders, and those are fine. We'll get to protein later, but they forget that your body cannot synthesize or cross-link collagen without a specific catalyst. That catalyst is vitamin C, and we are going to source it from a cup of dark berries like blueberries, blackberries, or strawberries. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of why this matters. Collagen is the glue that holds your body together. It's in your skin, your tendons, your blood vessels, and your gut lining. Imagine your collagen fibers are like a tightly woven rope. When you're young, that rope is new and strong. As you age, oxidative stress, which is essentially biological rusting, frays that rope. The strands snap, the skin sags, and the tendons tear. You need a potent antioxidant to stop this fraying and a cofactor to rebuild the rope. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition analyzed the diets of over 4,000 women aged 40 to 74. The researchers were looking for a link between nutrient intake and skin aging. What they found was undeniable. Women with higher intakes of vitamin C had a lower prevalence of a wrinkled appearance and senile dryness. The data showed a direct correlation. More vitamin C meant younger looking, more functional skin. But here is why we use whole berries and not just a vitamin C tablet. It's about the delivery system. Berries contain anthocyanins, the pigments that make them blue and red. These compounds protect the vitamin C as it travels through your digestive system. Think of the berries as a protective convoy, ensuring the VIP, the vitamin C, arrives at the construction site safely. When you blend these berries into the soy milk, you are creating a chemical reaction. The phytoestrogens from the soy open the door to the cell, and the vitamin C from the berries walks in to start the renovation. Without the berries, the soy is just a signal with no materials. Without the soy, the berries are materials with no instruction. Together, they are a renovation crew. So your action step here is to freeze your berries. Not only does this make the smoothie thick and creamy without needing ice, but freezing actually locks in the nutrient profile at the peak of ripeness. Every morning, drop a handful of these frozen jewels into your blender. You are literally pouring the raw materials for new skin and tendons into your cup. If you are following along so far and feeling a little spark of hope, that's good. That's the point. We often feel like our bodies are failing us, but usually we just haven't given them the right tools. If you're enjoying this breakdown, do me a quick favor and hit that thumbs up button. It helps this information reach other seniors who are struggling with low energy and aching joints, just like we all do sometimes. Now, we have the hormonal signal and we have the construction materials, but we have a logistical problem. Many of the most powerful nutrients in nature, including vitamin D, vitamin E, and certain antioxidants, are fat soluble. That means if you consume them in a watery, fat-free environment, they slide right through your digestive tract and you flush them down the toilet. You absorb almost nothing. This brings us to our third ingredient, the one that makes this a true anti-aging weapon rather than just a fruit drink, the healthy fat, specifically cold-pressed flaxseed oil. I talk to so many people who are terrified of fat. They spent the 80 seconds and 90 seconds being told that fat makes you fat and clogs your heart. We have to unlearn that immediately. Your brain is 60% fat. Your cell membranes, the skin of every single cell in your body, are made of a lipid bilayer, a double layer of fat. When you don't eat enough high quality, healthy fats, those cell membranes become rigid. They become hard. Imagine a house where the doors and windows are rusted shut. Nutrients can't get in and waste products can't get out. That is a cell deprived of healthy fats. By adding flax oil, which is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha linolenic acid or ALA, you are oiling those hinges. You are making the cell membrane fluid and flexible again. The science on this is profound, particularly regarding inflammation. Chronic Low-grade inflammation is the engine driving almost every age-related disease, from arthritis to Alzheimer's. A study published in the journal Circulation, which is a heavy hitter in the medical world, looked at the impact of omega 3 fatty acids on inflammatory markers. The research consistently shows that higher levels of omega 3 seconds are associated with lower levels of C reactive protein, CRP, and interleukin 6, which are the primary markers of inflammation in the blood. By lowering this inflammation, you are taking the pressure off your joints. You know, that morning stiffness, that feeling that your knees are filled with cement, that is inflammation. The flax oil works to douse that fire. But why flax oil and not just eating flax seeds? In a smoothie, we want immediate absorption. Unless you grind flax seeds into a fine dust, they often pass through you undigested. The oil is concentrated. 1 tablespoon gives you a massive dose of these anti-inflammatory lipids. Furthermore, remember the berries we just added? Many of the phytonutrients in those berries absorb significantly better when paired with fat. A study from the Journal of Nutrition demonstrated that the absorption of carotenoids, antioxidants found in plants, increased exponentially when consumed with a source of fat compared to a fat-free meal. By adding that tablespoon of flax oil, you are unlocking the potential of the berries. You are getting 100% of the value of your food rather than 20%. So the instruction is simple. Add 1 tablespoon of high quality refrigerated flaxseed oil to the blender. It has a mild, nutty taste that blends perfectly with the soy and fruit. If you are on blood thinners, check with your doctor. But for most, this is a safe, powerful lubricant for your rusty pipes. We are almost there. We have the signal, the materials, and the delivery system plaques. But there is one major component of aging we haven't stopped yet. Sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is the medical term for the involuntary loss of skeletal muscle mass and strength as we age. It starts in our 40 seconds and accelerates in our 60 seconds. We lose muscle not because we are lazy, but because of a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. This means our bodies become deaf to the protein we eat. When you were 20, you could eat a boiled egg and your body would turn it into muscle. At 70, you eat that same egg and your body barely notices. You need a louder signal. You need a higher dose. This is why the fourth ingredient is a high quality protein powder, either whey isolate or a high grade plant blend. Hey, rice. You cannot fight aging with toast and coffee. That is a breakfast for frailty. To overcome anabolic resistance, you need a rapid influx of amino acids first thing in the morning. This floods the bloodstream and forces the muscles to wake up and repair. Let's look at the data. A study published in the American Journal of Physiology, Endocrinology, and Metabolism investigated muscle protein synthesis in the elderly. They found that while older adults do have a blunted response to low doses of protein, this resistance can be overcome by consuming a higher dose, specifically around 25 to 30 grams of high quality protein in a single sitting. The study showed that when seniors hit this threshold, their muscle synthesis rates could match those of younger people. Read that again. You can build muscle like a young person, but only if you hit that dosage threshold. Sipping a little bit of protein here and there doesn't work. You need the protein spike to trigger the machinery. When you add a scoop of protein powder to this smoothie, you are providing the structural steel for the house. The vitamin C from the berries helps weave this protein into collagen for your joints and skin. The healthy fats from the flax ensure the energy is there to power the process, and the phytoestrogens from the soy modulate the hormonal environment to favor tissue maintenance. Do you see how it works? It's not about the ingredients individually. It's about the synergy. If you just ate the protein powder with water, you'd build some muscle, but your joints might still ache because you lack the omega 3 seconds. If you just took the flax oil, your joints might feel better, but your skin would still sag because you lack the vitamin C and protein structure. If you just ate the berries, you'd have antioxidants, but no fuel to rebuild the machine. You need all four. The soy milk provides the hormonal blueprint. The berries provide the mortar and the catalyst. The flax oil provides the transport and lubrication. The protein powder provides the bricks and steel. When you blend these together, you are creating a super meal that addresses the four pillars of aging: hormonal decline, oxidative stress, inflammation, and muscle loss. Now, I want to take a moment to speak to the reality of doing this. I know that changing your breakfast routine can feel daunting. Maybe you love your toast. Maybe you don't have much appetite in the morning. That is very common as we age. But I want you to think about this smoothie not as a meal, but as medicine. It is a prescription you are writing for yourself, a prescription for independence. Imagine a year from now, if you do nothing, the trajectory is clear. A little less muscle, a little more pain, a little less confidence walking down the stairs. But imagine if you start this tomorrow, imagine that in 6 months, your skin looks brighter because the collagen is actually being repaired. Imagine your knees don't ache as much because the inflammation has been soothed by the flax oil. Imagine you feel stronger carrying the groceries because you've halted the muscle loss. This isn't vanity. This is about staying in your own home. It's about being able to pick up your grandchild. It's about having the energy to say yes when a friend invites you out for lunch rather than no because you're too tired. Let's recap the protocol so you can write this down. The base 1 cup of organic unsweetened soy milk for the hormonal signal, 1 cup of frozen berries, blueberries or strawberries for the vitamin C catalyst, 1 tablespoon of flaxseed oil for inflammation and absorption. The structure, 1 scoop of high quality protein powder aiming for 25 grams of protein to fight muscle loss. Blend it up, drink it down. It takes 5 minutes, but it buys you years of vitality. There is incredible power in nutrition, but only if we respect the complexity of our biology. We are not simple machines. We are complex ecosystems. When you feed the ecosystem correctly, it thrives. You have so much more control over how you age than you have been led to believe. The genes load the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. By drinking this smoothie, you are keeping the safety on. I want to leave you with one final thought. Aging is not a disease, it's a process. But decay is optional. You have the knowledge now to fight the decay. You have the tools to polish the silver oil, the hinges, and reinforce the walls. So here is my challenge to you. Try this for 7 days, just 1 week. See how your energy shifts. See how your digestion settles. See how your skin feels. And then come back and tell me. If you are ready to take control of your mornings and fight for your health, please type "I'm worth it" in the comments below. I want to see a wall of declarations from people who refuse to fade away. And if you found this deep dive helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel because your health is worth fighting for. And we are going to keep fighting right alongside you. Go make that smoothie. Your body is waiting for it. Thank you for watching, and here's to your strength.